Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is the
Hello.
case of Johnston versus Garcia.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mrs. Garcia, you claim that after a lifetime of believing another man was your dad, you were surprised to learn the defendant, Mr. Johnston, could be your biological father. You've been close friends with him for more than 20 years and say you were shocked when he sat you down and gave you the news. Mr. Johnston, you say you felt compelled to confess the secret that Mrs. Garcia's mother made you keep for 3 decades until the day she died. Furthermore, you say you're hoping she's your daughter, and you've even changed your will to include her as yours. Now, Mrs. Garcia, why is it important for you to find out if Mr. Johnston is your biological father at this point in your life?
Well, Your Honor, I've always wanted to have a father. My father, that I thought was my father, was very abusive, and I watched my mother go through a second marriage with the same type of abuse. And so I came from a broken home, which in turn, my children also, my family, my personal family fell apart. And I ended up raising my grandsons with my husband that I have now. And having a father is important. It's important to me. So I've always felt close to Rusty, and I never knew why. I never could understand this bond, this feeling, you know, that was always there with him. So today, if it's true, I want to know it. You know, I want to know that. I want to have that.
Now, Mr. Johnston, how did you come to meet her mother?
Well, started out that I was a truck driver, and I got tired and I pulled up by the Lake Isabel, and I was going to stay there overnight and sleep. And I pulled up there, and before I turned the lights out, there was a man walking right along the side of the lake. He was cussing and he was drunk, and his car started up and he left, and I heard a whimper. And I seen this girl all in a bundle, all beat up, blood all over her face and on the clothes.
And so what did you do?
I picked her up and put her in the truck and cleaned her up and asked her, I said, you want me to take you home? And she said, I can't go home until I know that he's in bed passed out.
And what happens?
Well, got to talking, one thing led to another, and then sex was involved. And
Sex was involved.
Then I took her home, and I left.
And that was the last time you heard from her for 28 years?
Right.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Garcia, tell me how you came face to face with Mr. Johnston.
I had become a Christian, and I had started attending church, and I went to Lake Isabella to visit a small church, and I would go visit my mother in Lake Isabella. And I convinced her to start going to this church up there, and I took her. Rusty was there attending that church, and my mother continued to go to that church, and at that time I was pastoring another church in Bakersfield. And then there came a time when Rusty's first wife passed away, and he came to my church and became a member. And I remember seeing him walk through the door while church was going on, and for some reason I just jumped off the platform and I ran down there and held on to him and I hugged him and I welcomed him.
Now, Mr. Johnston, at that time, Ms. Garcia is 28 years old.
Yes.
And her mother says what to you?
She asked me, says, first she said, do you recognize who I am? And I said, yeah. And she said, that is your daughter that followed me in. And I don't want you telling her anything until I pass away. And I probably would be better if you didn't tell her at all.
At some point, unfortunately, her mother passes away. How do you get to the point where you decide, I'm no longer going to keep this secret?
I asked her to sit down and I want to talk to her. And I explained everything in detail.
And
I
since
think-
that time, you've developed a relationship with her and you've even written her into your will?
Yes.
Your family is not completely pleased that you've included Ms. Garcia in your will. Is that correct?
Right.
And Ms. Garcia, your sister, doubts that Mr. Johnston is in fact your father.
Yes, she does.
It's almost unimaginable. 28 years holding a secret. Have you stopped to consider? For 28 years, he's around you, he loves you, he's there for you, and he can't tell you.
I didn't know it was 28 years that he held the secret. The day he came to tell me, I was under the assumption that my mother told him right before she died, which was in 2009. I just found out today that he actually knew it way back when I was 20.
So these results are important to you because you
Absolutely.
feel as if they will complete
My family, my
your
life.
family.
My life. And not just for me, but for my child, for my grandsons.
Well, that is why we're here today, and we have the results. Jerome, do you have the envelope?
Yes, I do. Here you go, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you'd like to sit down, Mr. Johnston, feel free to take a seat. Ms. Garcia, please feel free. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they are as follows. In the case of Garcia versus Johnston, when it comes to Cindy Lee Garcia, Mr. Johnston, If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. In the case of Garcia versus Johnston, when it comes to Cindy Lee Garcia, Mr. Johnston, you are not her father.
Your Honor, could I say something?
Yes, you may, sir.
You know, this young lady is very important to me, whether it turned out that I'm not or I am. I love her. She is my child, and I love her, and she's going to be my child till I'm gone or till she's gone. And as far as anything goes on my part, if she needs me, I'm there. If there's any...
Ms. Garcia, how do you feel?
I'll love him till the day I die, and he will always be my spiritual father. And I knew that coming in here.
I have every confidence that you will go forward and continue to love one another and be the family that truly you are, because family is about more than biology.
Right.
There's a biological connection and there is a love connection.
That's right.
And you most certainly have the latter. I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.
I love you.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is the case of Caldwell versus Fortson.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're
Good
welcome.
day, everyone. Mr. Caldwell,
Yes, ma'am.
you claim your girlfriend, Ms. Fortson, cheated on you with another man that she says is just a friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a result, you say there's a strong possibility that you may not be the biological father of her 5-month-old daughter, Cariana.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Fortson, you confess you did have sex with another man and admit you also questioned the paternity of your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're here today because you claim Mr. Caldwell is most likely the biological father of your baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Caldwell, why do you believe you are not the father of 5-month-old Cariana?
First off, Jan, it's like this dude, her ex, her friend or whatever you want to call it, you know, has been causing problems the whole time, you know what I'm saying? And during the time around, I actually brought evidence. I'm gonna bring this out first thing, you know, so we can go and nip this in the bud. It took her too long to admit to it. She admitted earlier this year that she slept with somebody last year, and that's around the same time that, you know, the baby was conceived.
Jerome, can you grab his evidence, please?
Here you go, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Not only
you
that, Your Honor.
submitted a calendar to the court
Yes, ma'am.
that outlines the estimated time of conception and who Ms. Fortson had sexual relations with.
Yes, ma'am.
In yellow is the other possible father. And the green is when she was intimate with you.
Yes.
The 29th and 30th of July, that'd be back-to-back days,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
Is that correct, Ms. Fortson?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were you honest with Mr. Caldwell right away?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am,
During
to
that
the
time, we
seven.
was in together. We had a break. We broke up. And like a week, maybe a few weeks later, we ended up getting back together.
And when did you admit to Mr. Caldwell that you had sex with this other gentleman?
This year.
Okay. So, obviously, Mr. Caldwell, this is the subject of your doubt.
Yes, ma'am. Not only that, you know, I'm questioning their friendship too. They are really too close. It's like every time me and her do have an argument or whatever, he the first person she called, you know what I'm saying? We moved into a spot together. We moved in the spot.
Oh, she's so precious.
And before, you know, we getting a little verbal altercation, but he was the first person to spend the night in our spot. This supposed to be a spot me and her got together, and he slept out before me. So that's another thing that got me questioning their friendship.
Well,
or
I
so-called.
would question it too. You go and get a new place, and this other man sleeps at the place before he even gets to move in. Miss Fortson, what's going on?
We had ended up breaking up then too, Your Honor. We wasn't. We
Okay, hold on now.
separated.
Y'all breaking up, but y'all always in the bed.
When Carrie,
I done heard him
ended
admit
up-
he was in
the
love
first
with her.
year we
I done
was
heard the man say
together.
he was in love with her on her phone. They on the phone talking. They on speakerphone. You know what I'm
No.
saying? And I heard this man come out
No.
his mouth and tell her, why would I come do that for him when I'm still in love with you? I'm like, hold up. See, that the whole thing. Buddy want me out of the way.
So
He
what's
keep-
interesting to me is this other gentleman was on today's court docket as well, was supposed to appear, and
He didn't come for
Did
some
not
reason.
come.
It's something up in here. Why he didn't show up, young? What do he got to hide?
so, Ms. Fortson, you think this gentleman has something to hide or something he's fearing?
Yes.
So as you stand here today, you truly don't know who your child's father is.
No, I don't. It's a possibility. Is
So since Carrie's been born, has Mr. Caldwell stepped up to the plate?
I do everything. I've been there since
No,
day
he
one.
don't.
I was at the hospital when she was born. I'm there every day with her, physically, emotionally,
He don't
everything.
get
When she
by her
wake up,
anything.
that's
He don't-
beside
you
the
ain't
point.
did nothing
Financially,
for
I
her.
might not be able to for a job, but my family made a way that I could. My folks the
You
one
still
threw
don't
the
do
baby
nothing.
shower. Her family didn't do it. My family threw
I
the
make
baby
all the
shower
money, Your
for the
Honor.
baby. We got a lot of problems, and all the problems are based around her friend. You know what I'm saying? About how
No, it's
close
not.
they
What's
are.
up with this friendship,
Not
Ms.
true.
Fortson? When you're in a relationship with somebody and you're trying to make it work and you have a child and his family's
He
throwing
have
babies out.
friends. He have friends. I have evidence that he was messing a girl on Facebook.
Jerome, can you pass me that evidence? So this is a message from him to another
That's
woman.
during the time I was pregnant with Carriana. And
Babe,
after
I
had
changed
her.
everything. Passcode, email, and everything. Don't nobody have access to my
Yana,
account
that
but
was
me.
after she put
I'm
me out.
sorry for putting you in
But
the
you was
midst of
still
all
coming to my
my.
house all day.
Excuse me. Excuse me. But I never lied to you about nothing. I lied to her so she wouldn't blow the move before I made my move. I love you, baby. You know, you all mine forever.
Everything that happened that you reading about, that is a female that I was dealing with after she had done put me out, and I can probably
Y'all
say,
wasn't together.
what you mean?
So hold on.
Together.
Basically, this relationship is a mess.
I feel that.
It takes more than love to sustain a relationship. You need commitment and trust. You two don't trust each other as far as you can throw one another.
No, we don't.
It's the reason behind all
He's
of that.
insecure.
I want to go to the
controlling.
results because ultimately, this is about Cariana, and she deserves to know who her father is.
You right.
Jerome, do you have the results, please?
I do. Here, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to 5-month-old Cariana Caldwell, Mr. Caldwell, you are her father.
No doubt. Let's see.
Miss Fortson,
Yes, ma'am.
are you relieved?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
And do you understand what I said to you?
Yes, ma'am.
These children are counting on you all to figure out a way to get it together. If you don't want to be in a relationship, you got to co-parent because now it's been determined you are this child's father. Now, it's great that your family helps support the child, but Miss Fortson shouldn't be the only one out here working and making sure the child has what she needs. Are we clear?
Yes,
You
she
got
not
to
the
find a
only one.
job.
You right, you right. But I do what I do too to make sure that we straight though.
No, you don't.
Man, come on with
You
me.
ain't
Listen,
got her
listen,
business.
listen.
No, you don't. No,
Listen,
you
I'll
don't.
tell you like this. You can either do it voluntarily or the court in your home state will make sure you take care of that child financially. You understand?
Yes.
So step up to the plate and swing. All right? Court is adjourned.
I actually brought the ring today, you know, to propose once the results were revealed. And now that I got what I was looking for and I know the baby mine, I just want to know is you willing to go on and be a family?
Yes.
Will you marry me?
Yes.